Welcome back. I'm your host, Susanna May O'Hagan, and today we are going to be talking about Final Destination's Bloodline. I am actually excited to talk about this. I was super excited to watch this. I had predicted, there's two predictions I said. One being, I think Kimberly is alive. That is just a prediction. And two, Bloodworth may have been somebody who was saved, or he's deaf himself. I kept flip-flopping between the two. Final Destination's Bloodline is a 2025 American supernatural horror film directed by Zach and Adam for a screenplay by Guide. After commercial success of Final Destination 5, a new film entered development described as a reimagining of the franchise. In March 2020, series producer Craig said the film would be set in the world of the first responders. In October that year, series creator Jeffrey confirmed it was the sixth film in the franchise. In January 2020, the film was planned to be released on the streaming service HBO. In March 2024, Warner Bros. Pictures announced that the film would instead receive a theatrical release. Final Destination Bloodlines was released in the United States by Warner Bros. Pictures on May 16, 2025. The film received general positive reviews from critics and has grossed $283.3 million worldwide, becoming the best reviewed and highest grossing installment in the franchise and the 10th highest grossing film of 2025. College student Stephanie Reyes is plagued by recurring nightmares of her maternal grandparents, Iris and Paul Campbell, dying while attending the opening of a high-rise restaurant tower Skyview. Due to the deadly sections collapsing, the structure with everyone in it in Cloverdale, New York in 1969, despite knowing that the tower never had collapsed because it was demolished without incident, she returns home seeking answers and is greeted by her father Marty and younger brother Charlie. The siblings visit their uncle Howard, Aunt Brenda, and cousin Eric, Julie, and Bobby. When Stephanie asks Howard about Iris, he explained that Iris subjected him and Stephanie's mother, Darlene, to an overprotective and isolated upbringing, resulting in the kids being taken from her. The trauma caused Darlene to abandon her own family. Brenda helped Stephanie find letters from Iris, which led her to a fur-filled cabin where a cancer-ridden Iris now lives. Iris explains to Stephanie that the nightmares she is having were her premonitions. She warned the tower's attendants and prevented its collapse after receiving the forewarning which led to its closure. However, she disrupted Death's design. Death began to take the lives of the survivors in the order they would have died at the Skyview, along with their respective descendants. After Paul's death, Iris documents Death's actions until she got cancer, during which Stephanie's nightmares began manifesting. Believing her grandmother is insane, Stephanie tries to leave. Iris follows her outside the cabin to give her the book and allows herself to be impaled by a water vein to prove her claims. At Iris's funeral, Darlene returns, but Stephanie resents her for being absent since childhood. Stephanie reads Iris' book and sees a reference to JB, who found someone who defeated defeated death. During a family barbecue, a series of events caused Howard to be killed by his lawnmower. After Howard's funeral, Stephanie tries to warn her family that death is coming for Irish descendants in order of age, starting with Howard's branch of the family before moving on to Darlene's, but they are skeptical. Another series of events causes a fire at Eric's tattoo shop, but his leather clothing protected him before he escapes. Stephanie and Charlie meet Eric the following day to try and protect him as he is next in line, but Julia is crushed to death by a garbage truck compactor instead. The family is confused at Eric being scared, but Brenda reveals that he was the product of an affair and not part of Iris' bloodline. Darlene suggests visiting JB at a hospital, who turned out to be none other than our all-time favorite one in this series, William Bludworth. Present at the Skyview as a child with his mother and the last to die in the premonition, he revealed that after his mother died, Iris tracked him down, and he has since tried to learn Death's rules with her. He explains to the family that there are two ways to defeat death: taking another life, or being clinically dead and being revised. I'm just going to say revised. Citing Kimberly Carmen as a successful example, Bludworth leaves expecting to succumb to his own cancer after Iris' bloodline dies, and wishes the family luck before departing. Eric convinces Bobby to employ Bludworth's second strategy, giving Bobby a snack containing nuts to trigger a fatal allergic reaction and be subsequently revived. The plan backfires when a malfunctioning MRI machine rips out Eric's piercing, plugs him in, and impales him with a wheelchair. A coil from a vending machine is then lashed into Bobby's head. Stephanie, Charlie, and Darlene decide to drive to Iris' cabin, intending for Darlene to hide from death. They crash through the front gate and Stephanie's seatbelt jams. The cabin explodes, sending the RV into water where Stephanie begins to drown. Darlene saves Charlie before a lamppost kills her, and Charlie rescues and resuscitates Stephanie. 1 week later, the father of Charlie, prom date, tells the siblings that Stephanie was not clinically dead when Charlie revived her. Suddenly, a chain reaction caused a timber-carrying train to derail in the neighborhood, and the cargo crashed and killed Stephanie and Charlie. Okay, we got 87 on the popcorn meter, 92 on the tomato meter. The new chapter in New Line Cinema bloody successful franchise takes advances back to the very beginning of Death's twisted sense of justice. Plagued by a violent reoccurring nightmare, college student Stephanie heads home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle and save her family from the grisly demise that ultimately awaits them all. I want to know what people said. Best of the whole franchise, it was super good and a little slow but good. Fun Times, definitely one of the better FDs. I would say the best installment of this franchise, must watch, great acting. Also, the music selection was all great. Wonderful movie, had me at the edge of my seat every time. I have been telling my friends and my coworkers, Really gory but creative storyline. I haven't watched the movie yet, but the trailer looks good. It is what everyone expects from these movies. Full on carnage, the kills are creative and fun, screenplay is tight with no scope to get bored. Even the theater had a blast. The only letdown is the VFX in certain scenes were bad. So most of the population of normal people like it. Let's see what the critics have to say. They're more critical. Bludworth is... I love Bludworth. He's one of my favorites. I loved him as an actor, and I'm sorry he passed away. He was so good as Candyman. He was good in this. I forget the other stuff he's done, but I loved him in, like, the horror franchise. Bloodlines is a worthy franchise entry, continuing to honor its dark humor to a fine point, like a very sharp thing that it's price a very sort of the human body, killing it instantly if the conditions are just right. I cannot think of many franchises with such a strong six entry, and it's a treatment to Bloodline's success mix of legacy, honoring, and lore advancement that is breath new life into the Final Destination world. Arriving a decade after the last one and yet somehow right on time. Final Destination Bloodline is the gore-soaked antidote to a stream of self-series art house horror that was... Wow, some of these are fancy. Final Destination Bloodlines puts its foot on the gas for minutes one and doesn't let up until you've laughed, cried, cheered, and cringed yourself silly. The result is a slick, gashly entertaining reboot. Yes, we did that. Okay, so let's do what I wanted to do. William Bludworth. William John Bludworth is the main character in the Final Destination series. He is a mortician and the owner of Bloodworth Funeral Home. William has the most knowledge of death and is forced and captivated. First appeared in Final Destination, he becomes one of the most popular characters in the franchise. He is one of the many survivors of the Skyview collapse. After Irish Campbell's warning, it is implied that he died last. So the thing about that is he was a child, if I remember correctly. William is a mysterious and intimate to some of the survivors when they evade death. He works as a mortician at Bloodworth Funeral Homes. He speaks with an intimidating rag voice. He was revealed to have survived the Skyview disaster in 1969, explaining his intimate connection to death. After the death of Todd, Alex, and Clear Rivers went to see his corpse at the morgue, William catches them in the act and asks why they came. He tells them that they had cheated death by getting off the doomed Flight 180, but now death has a new design for all of them. Offering his help, he explains to them about the rules of death. Those who cheat death will be revisited by death once more to claim back their lives, which should have been lost. He also tells them about Death's list, a list of the order of the death of the survivors in the original incident, and how it will work on them once again. Finally, he states that running the list can affect the remaining survivors. So, fun fact, in Final Destination 2, he tells Kimberly that the only way to, like, get off Des lifts is for a baby to be born who was not supposed to be. Hence, Kimberly's thing in the last movie. Kimberly's thing, not Kimberly, Iris Campbell's thing in the last movie, where her descendants finally have to face death. 1 year later, Claire visits William again, along with Kimberly and Thomas, who survive the pileup on Route 23. William, who cremate the body of the recently deceased Evan Lewis, only mentioned to them that new life can defeat death. Well, that's true. He said new life can defeat death, so maybe he didn't mean it the way we thought he did. It originally thought that Isabella's pregnancy can give new life. Kimberly's second premonition reveals that she is the only one who can cheat death by driving and then being revived. Although unnamed, a magician matching William's description and personality appears in the novel. He was working at St. Stephanie's Hospital just as death began to target who were supposed to die in the 34th Street collision. Ooh, there's a book. How did I not know there was a book? When most of the survivors went to the morgue to take a look at the corpse of first victim, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. The magician greets them, allowing them to see the heavily deformed body and offers critic advice. There's a book, y'all. How did I not know there was a book? Okay, now I want to read the book. Probably have nightmares because this is a pretty good thing. Due to an unusual coroner being on vacation, William was transferred to New York morgue just in time for death to begin targeting who were supposed to die at the hand of a would-be serial murder killer in self-defense by later Ooh, so this is what I thought was going to happen. Like, someone ends up being a serial killer to keep their lives in check. I love that that's actually where I was going with this. I was hoping to see this. We need a movie on the book. In self-defense, when Jack and his friends Officer Amy stopped by the morgue to take a look at the corpse of the first victim, Chelsea, and the dead, Bill greets them, allows them to see the bodies, and offers weird advice. After a complete absence from Final Destination 3 and the Final Destinations, Sam and Molly and friends first encountered William at the North Bay Bridge Memorial, where he tells them that death doesn't like to be cheated. No, death doesn't. Okay. I don't know if we need to go through all Bloodworth. The Skyview was a 200... Wait. Not 200. Hang on, my brain's not working. The Skyview Tower was a 494 feet tall... Why would you go in something that tall? That's terrifying. Skyscraper with its restaurant. The Skyview that opened and closed in 1969, although extremely ritzy and converted, the tower saw a rushed construction, being opened 5 months ahead of schedule with poor operational standards. Though these flaws could have led to a total collapse and the deaths of all guests during its opening day, such a disaster was entirely prevented by Iris Campbell warning patrons of their impending danger. The tower was closed for inspection and revelations, but never were read open before being demolished. Theatrical, the Skyview collapse is the sixth major disaster in the series, as seen in Final Destination Bloodline, and the second disaster correlated by the Morning Time censored. The Skyview is chosen venue for Paul Kimball to bring his girlfriend, Iris, on a date, all with the intention of proposing to her. Throughout the night, Iris begins to spot signs of the tower's poor construction and operating standards. A bartender opens a bottle, launching the crock into a chandelier above and breaking one of the glass shards, which drops with enough force to crack the reinforced glass dance floor beneath the guest. I have so many questions on why this was built like this. First of all, that is way too tall. Second of all, glass? I don't want to see that far down. If you asked me to go on this thing, I'd be like, nope, it's pretty, I'll take a photo, but I'm out. Like, no. I'm not going to read this whole thing because I don't want to spoil the whole movie, but I would say go watch it. It was so good. And we got more of Bludworth, and there's some other things in this that you don't know about that I don't want to spoil every little thing. But I would say go watch it. It was really good. This is the only one I don't have. I have a set of Final Destination movies. This is the only one I don't have now. So I'll have to get it when it comes out. I liked it. I thought it was great.